the dual position players for 2021 have been revealed, and also the players that have lost dual position. So today we'll go over those players. Last year Supercoach opened, I believe, the 23rd of December, so perfect Christmas present for me, and you guys as well, I suppose. Yeah, couldn't ask for much more. But yeah, today we'll go over those players. So Supercoach is just around the corner, I assume, and there's about 30 names here. I'll talk about them, whether I want to start them or whether I don't. We also got information on the rookies, the draftees, their positions. I won't go over them, but I'll briefly go over the rookies that I'd like to select. So this information is available on the Herald Sun website. I believe it's paywall though, but it's also available on the AFL Fantasy website. So the first player we'll go over is probably my favourite player, Josh Dunkley. You all know how I feel about Josh Dunkley if you're a regular at the channel. There is nothing that can change my mind on this pick, so I will pick Josh Dunkley. Beveridge has promised him a bit more mid-time, and even without it he's still going to average 100 minimum, and if he gets the mid-time he can easily go 120, 130, so lock him away. He also looks like a gorilla at the moment. There's a few pictures doing the rounds of him at training. He looks huge, so yeah, wouldn't want to mess with him. Dane Zorko, I think he's going to be 32 by the time round 1 starts. This is an upgrade target and a watch list. I'm not sure how much mid-time he gets. I know there's a few young guys that want to get a bit more mid-time at the Lions. Yeah, not for me, Dane Zorko, and also had Achilles injuries all last year, all in 2020. So pass on Zorko, watch him for an upgrade target. Patrick Dangerfield, I think this is a 50-50 as a starting pick. I think every year over the past 3 or 4 years he's declined a bit, and he's throwing in a few worse scores here and there. Don't know how much he plays forward and mid, so in the games where he plays forward, where he might not get the ball as much, he can still score in the forward line, but there's going to be games where he doesn't. His price will drop and we can get him in for a reasonable price. So we'll think about Patrick Dangerfield as a starting pick. Not a lock for a starting pick, but we'll watch him. Ron Marshall, he's likely to be my F2 behind Josh Dunkley. Might actually be F1, I'm not sure on the pricing just yet. Averaged 103 this year with sharing the ruckload with Paddy Ryder. So if Ryder goes down and you don't have Marshall, you're in trouble, definitely. But that being said, I think he's a safe selection. Not a lot of downside and big upside. Still side bottom, he's going to be too expensive. He averaged 109 this year, only played the 9 games though. So yeah, I'm not starting Steel side bottom. I see him as an upgrade target. I think he's about 29, something like that, so that's fine. So still at the age where probably not going to fall off the cliff just yet. And I think he plays mostly outside anyway, so it's harder to score as an outside mid, but scored very well this year. Brodie Smith, he's always been a sub-premium, so he's a pass. I think he'll play defence anyway. Zach Bailey, I'm not sure he has the Supercoach friendly role. I'm not sure if it's mid, I'm not sure if it's half forward. I know he spent a bit of time in defence, but I'm not exactly sure. He's a pass for me, but a lot of talent there. We'll keep an eye on him, but I'm not sure he has that consistent role. Not considering him at this stage. Devon Robertson, very good player in high production, high accumulator in the midfield. I'm not sure if he plays more forward because he's young. He might not get the opportunity, but if he does get regular games and he's locked in that spot, lock him away on the forward bench, and he might be a field option depending on if he gets the time in the midfield. He could be a premium one day, but definitely interested in. I'm not sure on his price. Did play the 1 game, so I don't know, might be 150, 160, 170 or something like that, but high on the watch list. Devon Robertson, the Brisbane rookie. Jamie Elliott, no, too injury prone and split between forward mid. Cardwell, probably not yet. No evidence to suggest he'll break out, but forward mid, should get more mid time at the Bombers, but they do have a lot of midfielders, so probably not on Cardwell. Keep an eye on him though. Rory Lobb, no, too injury prone. Brett Bewley, no, he plays outside mid and his job security is not perfect. Isaac Smith's too old and he's going to play wing. So in terms of midfielders, I know Blake was really good this year, but I really prefer them to be in the mid to high 20s, or just not necessarily mid 20s. So just not over 30. I don't. Most 90% of midfielders decline after that, probably more. Will Brodie, yeah, dodgy job security, and now I suppose Hollands isn't going to play mid early. He'll probably play forward if he does play at the Suns. I'm surprised he wasn't traded, but yeah, high volume midfielder. Gets a lot of the pill. Not at this stage. Dodgy job security. Tom Phillips is an interesting one. I think he'll be priced maybe at 380k. He's averaged 90 2 years ago. He was played forward to make way for Dacos on the wing at Collingwood, but now he's at Hawthorn. And now with Isaac Smith gone, that wing role is his. And I'm thinking about the Tom Phillips pick, just because if we have a rookie deficit, Tom Phillips could be an option to make 100k, and someone you just keep there. Durability is really high. Don't think he's not going to be top 6 forward. I highly doubt that. But one that will make us money. So something to think about. Depends on the rookie situation. Ben McAvoy is a no. Orazio Fantasia is a no, and Shai Bolton he just does not accumulate enough of the pill just yet. But yeah, really damaging forward of the ball, really good spread in the midfield. But yeah, looks really good, but I'm not sure he's that player. He seems like a low possession player, but really damaging with those possessions, and we don't like that for Supercoach. We like lots of contested ball. So that's the players. Just to recap, Dunkley, if I had to pick my top 3, Dunkley, Marshall, Dangerfield. I think they're clear. Maybe side bottom 4th, but yeah. So 1 Dunkley, 2 Marshall. Actually 1 Dunkley, 2 Dangerfield, 3 Marshall. That's how I would go, but I'd rather start Marshall than Dangerfield, just because I assume that Marshall will be a fair bit cheaper. He will be. He averaged 10 points less. And the ruck flex is pretty awesome. So the players that lost dual position, no surprises here. So Christian Petrarca, on one hand you say, well, he could explode. He was unbelievable this year, almost won the Brownlow medal. But on the other hand, we haven't seen him play full 20-minute quarters just yet. And that was always a criticism of his, just how long can he spend in the midfield. Probably should be fine now, especially with Darren Burgess, who was there. Thinking about this pick, we'll watch him over the preseason. I'm thinking upgrade target at this stage, but one that could hurt you if you don't start him. But we'll just monitor Petrarca, Bailey Smith, Baz Lanker. You all know how I feel about Baz Lanker. Unfortunately, he's... the Dogs midfield has Treloar now. It's going to be a bit of a disaster. I'm not sure how we fit the Dogs mids into the starting team, just because we don't know who goes where at this stage. So unfortunately, I don't think we pick Bailey Smith. If he had more midfield, if he had the midfield pretty much at any other club, still not sure. But it's a huge step. It needs to go 110 this year, and there's not enough points to go around in the Dogs midfield. Jai Simpkin, I'm not going to say no just yet on Simpkin. I think it's unlikely, but he's one. Before he hurt his ankle, he was averaging 120 in 2020 in the first 6-7 rounds. Apparently came back in better shape in the preseason, won the time trial by a mile, but that doesn't mean much. Jones and McHenry won the time trials at the Crows. So keep an eye on Jai Simpkin. Unlikely though. Hugh Greenwood is a no. Just his time on ground will get shafted, I assume, in full quarter games. Starcevic is a no. Oscar McInerney, interesting, probably a no. I don't think he surpasses Gorn or Grundy. Darcy Cameron, no. He'll play forward ruck with playing with Brody Grundy. There's not enough points with Grundy in the team. Darcy Parish is a no. Can always get shafted forward, and seems to fade in and out of games, Parish. So we can't have that as a premium midfielder. Devon Smith, who cares? Andrew Brayshaw, again, gets shafted with his time on ground, but his endurance has always been a strength of his ever since he was drafted. Just hasn't converted for whatever reason. But yeah, time on ground is an issue with Brayshaw, but definitely can accumulate a lot. And also his centre bounces weren't that high, so which was interesting. So no for me, but keep an eye on him. Maybe an upgrade target. Maybe we can figure him out as a pick as the season goes on. Blake Acres is absolutely no. He plays wing and he's injury prone. Lukosius is an interesting prospect, super talent, but there's always the threat he goes forward. I don't think you can have that, especially Lloyd, Laird, Whitfield, few others who I like in defence, less certainty. But Lukosius I think will be about 420k. Something to think about. It's a pick that can definitely work, but a high risk pick. Just because he is unproven for a full season and the chance to be swung forward. So, no to Lukosius at this stage, but keep an eye on him. Butterick, no. John Segler, absolutely not. Lockie Whitfield in defence, probably a lock. I know something seems to go wrong with him every year, but yeah, it's hard. Even when I think 2019, even I didn't start him, it was looking like a disaster until I think someone broke his collarbone or something. So I got that was a really lucky for a non-owner. So I got bailed out there. I think I'll start Whitfield in defence anyway. And Dan Houston actually finished the year pretty strong in defence. Kind of turned into a seagull. Took a few intercepts. Kind of controlled. Poor exiting out of defence. That was what I saw anyway. But yeah, I think so. He was supposed to move into the midfield in 2020. It happened briefly, and he had a few stints there. Wasn't consistent in the midfield, and just mechanically seemed to throw him around. Did settle in defence in the back half of the year, I think. Could be an interesting one. I'm not going to write him off, but I don't think I'm going to start him. There's far better, safer picks. So those are the players that have lost or gained dual position. So I think we have a lot of good safe picks this year. I don't think we're going to have a bit of a dilemma like previous years where who the hell do we start in the forward line, where a bunch of players in the forward line that previously had too much forward time moved into the midfield, like Petrarca, Bailey Smith, a few others, Simpkin. They had to break out for us to have a premium there, so it won't be that difficult. For rookies, I think we're looking at Will Phillips. This is from the draft. Will Phillips. I think Granger Barras if we have a deficit in the defender rookies. Tom Powell from North. I think he averaged like 33, 35 disposals in the NAB League in the under 18s in SA. And Finlay McRae is a forward, which is pretty good. He got shafted to the forward line, a half forward for the Oakley Chargers because he played with Will Phillips, Noah Anderson, Matt Rao, so pretty difficult to get mid-time there. It's a really stacked team that was kicking to Jamara. So those off the top of my head are the most relevant rookies, but we'll worry about that during the preseason. So thanks for watching, and yeah, hopefully Supercoach opens soon and lots of content is coming. So please subscribe, and yeah, that'd be good. Catch you guys soon.